Hey everybody, welcome to Sandy Treasures. Today I'm going to start this video with playing with the hair and hopefully making it look a lot more natural. At this point it looks a little bit like a helmet, a weird looking helmet. So I want to soften the hairline to the forehead. So that is a big deal, to just make it look where it's a lot more natural, right? And once I have the base tone of the hair in the direction where it goes, then I can go ahead and add the strands, the highlights, and some of the darker hair. She has gray hair like me. Go figure. If you are an artist and you're watching this video because you want to learn something about painting with oils, I can tell you something about when it comes to hair. Keep playing with it, because it's really easy to get frustrated and say, I am done, it's not looking right, and just give up. But at first it's going to look a little wonky, and we keep playing with it, and then eventually it just starts to make more sense. And because everything is dry, so what I am doing right there on this video is like 2 or 3 days after I did the base, and so the face and the hair, everything is already dry, and if I make a mistake I can easily just erase it. No big deal. I'm not going to affect anything, I'm not going to ruin anything. And because I did too heavy on the hair and I didn't allow a whole lot of peeking of the base color, that beautiful teal that is on the background, that color did not come through the hair a whole lot. So here I'm replacing it, which I tend to do that. I really need to get out of that little habit, which is overdoing. I rather underdo and add little by little. Next time I'm going to keep that in mind. So you see how I had to add the background color, so that way it looks like the hair is not so thick, like there's a little bit of space in between hair strands, right? So you just go back to adding a little bit of that background color and move again into doing some more hair strands. And sometimes I have to just back away from the project and move on to the next something and just absorb what I did get done. So at this point, that's what I'm doing, just moving away from this and getting into another aspect of this painting, which is one of the environmental aspects of this painting, which is the removal. The mermaid is removing the 6-pack holder from the turtle. And how I'm doing this is just, I basically took a picture of a 6-pack holder and gave it a little stretch. I'm not even doing it identical or anything, because everything was just freehand. Wherever it lands, it lands. I don't have too much of a specific plan when it comes to this painting, or a lot of my paintings. I kind of like to freestyle a little bit and see where it takes me. So once I'm done with the 6-pack holder, I move on to this leftover netting, right, that we see a lot of times when we're walking on the beach. So that's another aspect that I wanted to include in this environmental awareness painting. And once I'm done with the netting, I'm pretty happy with it, I'm including, as you can see, that's right, a little dead fish. And I hope you guys are not crying at this point or anything like that, but I think that we really need to bring more awareness, and that is why I'm doing this part also, which is some propeller scars, which sadly they get all the time. You see them all the time, and this is how our researchers also keep track of them. Those scars are a form of ID now for these manatees. And then I move on to doing more fun part, which is the snout, how hairy it is, and some details around the eyes, add a little bit more wrinkles. And of course, it never fails, I have to go back and forth with the hair. I think of something where I absorb enough of it and I think, okay, now I can go ahead and handle it, and I tackle it and add some eyelashes to it, make her look beautiful. And we're almost complete at this point. I really like how she's looking. Boy, I barely gave enough space for the eyelashes on this camera shot. Sometimes, the time passes and I just forget where I'm at. And I hope you guys didn't think I was done with the environmental aspects of this painting. Here I'm doing a little plastic cup. I think it never fails. We always see a little plastic something in our oceans, and this is what this painting is all about. So the straws also, you know, we always see people like they have to have their little cup to go, plastic cup and straws. And I figure I make a statement here with this little seahorse holding on to the straw, which now we see our restaurants with paper straws, and I really like that they did that, because it is amazing if you go to the beach after a storm and you think you're going to pick up some seashells, more than likely you'll see so much garbage, and I hope that you're tempted to pick up some of that garbage. That's something that I do on the regular basis, because it happened to me one time. One time I went to the beach thinking I was going to just get a whole bunch of real cool seashells, and when I got there, the beach was just loaded with all these little straws and cups and toothbrushes. I mean, combs. You saw a little bit of everything. There was parts of sunglasses. There was sunscreen oil, little bottles, leftovers, cups, plates. I mean, you name it. So instead of me getting seashells, I ended up getting a whole bunch of trash. I was very happy to do that. I was also a little frustrated with all the people that were surrounding the beach at that time, because they were all just watching, you know, just looking at the ocean, watching me pick up trash. I asked everybody, you know, hey, you guys can make yourself useful and pick up some trash too. And everybody ignored me, and I think that they thought I was a little crazy. I really don't care what people think about me. A lot of times you just see people one time. And back to the subject of painting, I thought maybe I needed to do the seahorse a little bit bigger, but this is what I ended up with. What do you guys think? And of course, I have to add some bleach coral, because this is the environmental awareness type of painting that hopefully will get a lot of attention. And then with the same kind of white reduced down with mineral spirits, I'm doing the bubbles. And I barely have any paint in my paintbrush. And if I have areas that are a little messy or whatever, I come back with a paintbrush that has been dipped into mineral spirits, and I just go right around the bubble so I can clean it up, and I make the edges a little bit sharper, but of course not too sharp. And I also, with that brush that has only mineral spirits, I clean a little bit more the inside, top inside part of the bubble, so that way I can come back and do that striking highlight on each one of my bubbles, and it works really good. And at this point, I'm doing the final touches to the earring with that pearl in there, and a little bit of the shadow of her hair on her forehead. I also want to move the bubbles onto other parts of the canvas, not just around the mermaid. You know, you got to have everything integrated. And of course, got to add more bubbles. Bubbles are kind of like lighting up a tree with Christmas lights. I think bubbles all of a sudden makes painting a little bit happier, especially with this kind of painting that, of course, it's conveying a sad message, but an important message, I think, for everybody. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole project, and how do you guys feel about it? And would you have done something a little different? Do you have a different idea for an approach when it comes to environmental awareness art? I'm curious to know what your opinions are, so yeah, leave them in the comments. And here I'm doing final touches, like making sure that my fish eyes have a little highlight. I almost forgot about that. And then I move right back onto finishing the earring for my mermaid and doing some highlights there. And I'm pretty much done. Hey, thank you guys for watching this whole time. I finally came to the end of part 3 of doing this manatee and mermaid piece. And I really appreciate that you guys were watching, because that's important. That's how we get the support, you know, with the ads. So you don't have to exactly pull money out of your pocket to support a YouTuber. You can just watch their videos, and that's the support that we need. So I really appreciate that. And without talking anymore, let me get to showing you the whole piece now, right? You guys watched the whole process of this project in the making, so Here we go. This is it. This is the final. I am very happy with how it turned out. I love her snout. Look at her snout. All those whiskers. Oh my goodness. I'm in love with this whole piece. And if you guys don't know already, I am going to be doing my first art show at the Manatee Center. There's an event on February 22nd called Nature Fest, and I will be there with this particular piece. So if you guys are in the area, definitely stop by and say hi. I would love to see y'all. And of course, thank you for watching. I hope I see you next time. Bye.